please like and subscribe.
Once again, we'll bring whiskey to the forefront and try not to embarrass her too bad or make her too nervous. But we were chatting about this. Before we get started, I've got to say, your office is awesome.
Yeah.
I love your office. We actually asked her, is that real? Is that like a background? And she knocked on the wall. It's real.
She's got a bonsai tree.
But welcome to the podcast. Thank you for coming on. I would like to just give you the opportunity to introduce yourself and kind of tell us a little bit about the project that you're involved in, the Misfits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Whiskey. I am the community manager for the Misfits NFT. I actually started in the crypto space, and a lot of people know me from the Safe Moon Army, which is where I met Holly last year. So that's a little bit about where I came from. The Misfits is a NFT project. We are co-creating a manga with the community, which is a little different. And we have a story that is encompassing these 5 different characters, and it kind of has a like Hunger Games bounty hunter type thing to it. They are in the more lower districts of their city, and to advance and get to better districts, they can earn money through taking in criminals. And so you kind of have like this story that's being built, and that's kind of the storyline of the Misfits. So we really have like 2 businesses simultaneously going. You have the NFT side, which we're still minting, and then we have the manga side, which is in production now.
So speaking on the manga, do you have a favorite character in that?
I am gonna get crucified for this, but yes.
Well, don't get crucified.
Dex, I say it all the time, but I usually get crap for it. Dex is the best. He's the erratic ape that I can relate to in multiple ways. But he's one that I've kind of connected with a little bit, and he's my favorite. He's the best, but everyone in the community has someone they've connected to and feel is superior.
So, but keeping on that same subject line, so I have read up on it. I've caught up to the newest pages that have been released. How often do the pages get released? Is there a schedule for that?
So, the founders, Alex and Tom, Alex works with an artist and pushes out the pages as they can. They've been working their butts off for this. And in the beginning, it was maybe every couple weeks. And now it's just, you'll get on Twitter and one of them will just do this smooth drop and you'll see a new page that comes out. So they're coming out pretty frequently, sometimes once or twice a week. So you're really able to kind of keep up better with the story. So that's, they're pretty frequent now.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just curious because I got to see where the story goes. And I didn't know if it was like every Tuesday at noon a page dropped, or I couldn't figure that out, but that makes sense. So I'm following those guys because I got to figure out how this goes. So, so we're in chapter 1, correct?
Right.
And so do you know how many pages are in chapter 1? How many more pages do we have until we get to chapter 2, I guess?
Okay, so
I gotta know. If you haven't read it, guys, read it. It's good. It really is good.
Yeah, so we're on page 16 now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say it's about 20 to 21 pages.
Okay.
I probably will get like text messages from the guys that are like, you should know this. But yeah, the first chapter I believe is about 20 to 21. But with Alex, he throws in stuff that he wants to continue or do more, like with traits for the NFT side. Mm-hmm. So he will be working on adding more traits that Tom has to go in and take care of, but he won't tell Tom about it because he's like, oh, Tom's going to get upset. So I'm just like, I don't know anything. I'm not going to say anything. So we'll have to see, I guess.
That sounds like dynamic. A lot of behind the scenes stuff in this office.
Yeah, dynamic.
So how many chapters do we know?
That, no. So when we get to, I want to say, the second or third is when the DAO's established, and
Okay.
that means that the community will start to help write the story. So for right now, you've got the Misfits that are creating and doing all this, but then the community starts to get involved through voting, and that's when it starts to get it, fun for the community too to be engaged.
So one other question, and you may not know the answer to this, but I'm just curious because I, for one, would buy it. When this thing is done, are you planning on publishing like something we can hang on to, like a comic book, I guess, for lack of a better
I
term?
knew that's where you were.
Yeah, so the goal is for it to be out there for public consumption of everyone. Right now, they are on Webtoons
Yep.
and I believe Medibang still. And those are getting uploaded just as quickly as they come out to where you can kind of keep up with it. But I mean, the plan is for this to just take off enough to where people are buying these. And another thing is with when you are a holder, you get redistribution from the sales of the manga.
Gotcha. Okay, I did not know that part.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
That is neat.
Yeah, well, I will tell you, for a guy that has not known much about it for very long, I'm hooked. I think it's awesome. So that's why whenever we got you on here, I was like, heck yeah, let's talk about this because it's a very, I don't know, I feel like the way you guys release a page at a time, just to be honest, I wasn't sure I was going to like that. But now it's like, I'm kind of old, so back in the day you didn't get the DVR stuff, and you had to wait till the next week for the next episode, and that's kind of how this is. And I'm like, okay, when's it coming out?
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah.
I want to see more. So, but I think you guys have got something there, and it seems to be something the community enjoys too. How did you? I know that you said you were part of the Safe Moon Army beforehand, but how did you get involved with that? How did you become the community manager of the Misfits?
So I had a friend of mine would send me DMs about these Twitter spaces for the Misfits. And I saw it was an NFT project, and immediately I'm like, no, not NFTs. And so he would send them frequently when they had them because they were having a couple a week, and I'm like, yeah, okay. So I figured I would do him a solid and just support it, sit in and support. And I ended up winning a free mint for their Genesis, which is the first 200 mints of their collection. And I had no idea what a mint was. I just had no clue. And then they tell you to go to Discord to open a ticket so they can do that. Well, Discord was still terrifying to me because I had only used it like 2 months prior. So there was all this like noob stuff that I had to like come to grasp with and figure it out. So once I got into the community and started engaging with everyone, that was back in February. And then about 2.5 months ago, the founders, Alex and Tom, came to me and asked me to kind of jump on board and be the community manager. So here we are.
So for those that don't know what that means, what does minting these NFTs look like?
So, okay. So embarrassing story.
That's what we're here for, Whiskey.
Unfiltered here. So
Yeah.
my first moments with minting an NFT was complete chaos for not just me, but also Tom, one of the founders. I first off did not know, I'd never bought an NFT. I really didn't even mess with ETH because we were always on the BNB side.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to go mint this NFT, and I go to connect my wallet, and we're in a Twitter space and we're on Discord and all this stuff's happening. So I go to mint and I'm like, man, gas is like $2,000. Like what? I'm not paying $2,000. Well, I go into Discord and I'm like, something's wrong. Like this is not normal. And Tom immediately was like, amazing. He's like, helping out, and what are you doing? And then he goes, how much ETH do you have in your wallet? I'm like, none. I kind of wanted to see how much I needed before I added it to see like how much money it's going to cost. And that's just not how it works.
Yeah.
So you have ETH in your wallet. So, connecting your wallet to their website, minting, and then there's a reveal for you to see what you have from the mint. And so the whole process is fun once you know what you're doing. So,
And so that would be if somebody saw this and they were interested, they would go to the Misfits website, and that's how they could connect everything and mint one.
yeah.
Okay.
So right now we're minting at 0.035, which with ETH right now, that's nothing. I mean, so you can always go to the official Twitter pages, and that's where their official website is. And then you'll see at the top right a mint button, and you can click on that, connect your wallet, and mint one. And then I think we have about 349 left in this phase, and then we're working on reveal date now. So not too much longer for everybody to see what's in their wallet.
Gotcha.
What's in
Okay.
the wallet?
Well, that's definitely
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
So, actually, the very first time that I dealt with ETH was through the Misfits. I was so proud. Because I was like, I bought ETH on my own. I minted on my own.
Yes.
I even tagged Whiskey in a post, and I was like, guess who just finally got ETH all on her own? Like, I NFTs that were on the ETH side, but what I would do is send BNB to somebody, and they would actually buy with their ETH for me. So the Misfits was my very first purchase for Ethereum, and to buy an NFT and to mint one on my own. That was and it was super simple. And then the way they do the reveals is so exciting. It's so much fun. It's my favorite thing. So yes. I love the Misfits, and I'm Team Trixie, like all the way. So
I can see
Yeah.
that. I can see that. Yeah.
That is
You
fun.
bring up
It
a
really
good
is.
point, Holly. It is kind of weird how people get attached to a certain chain, or, like you're in the BSC side of things, and then somebody's like, well, that's an ETH deal, and you're like, oh, no, I can't do it, But once you actually do it, it's pretty simple. Like, it's kind of...
oh yeah.
Gas fees are way better now.
Oh, yeah. We've dealt with some stuff on that side before, back when the gas fees were outrageous. And I was like, wait, what? This is going to cost me more in gas than it is for what I'm trying to buy. But those seem to have come way down. And it's just funny how people get attached, or they get scared, or things just, it's different. So I'm afraid of it. But that's a pretty good... I think most people have been through that, Holly, I guess is maybe the best way to put that. So, Whiskey, you guys seem to have, from what I have seen in my research, and I've been in a couple of your guys' spaces, just kind of in the background, just hanging out, listening. Community seems to be big to you guys. Would you agree with that statement?
Oh, yeah. And I mean, I know I'm biased, but honestly, being around the NFT space most of this year, I've been in and out of different communities while staying in the Misfits. And there's just a noticeable difference of a strong, tight-knit community. And honestly, we kind of use family more than community, because it's just a deeper connection that everyone has. And honestly, an NFT project is only as good as its community. If you don't have people backing you and supporting you, you're doing it for nothing. So you want that strong community.
You took the words right out of my mouth, because one of the things I had written down was it seems more like a family than it does a community. Is there any particular reason how that comes about? Is it something that you guys like strive to be that way, or is it just that a bunch of people just like each other and that's just how it turned out?
I don't know what Alex and Tom started or did to set that tone, but it's completely authentic. I mean, we don't try to harp on any specific part to get people to the Misfits. I mean, we have people from Australia clear over to California And it's just every different type of background and personality. And I mean, half of us didn't even like or know what anime and mangas were. I mean, I first to admit, I will not say how recently I learned how to read a manga properly, but I was never into anime. That's not why I joined. It was the community and the founders that really like bring you in. And if you've ever been in our Discord, it's kind of a hot mess. We are completely unfiltered. Anything mostly goes. There's sometimes random and weird conversations, but there's a daily checking in, and the Discord now is just almost 24/7 of people coming in, and we're active and we're doing stuff almost every night together. And I think when you put in that time and effort to have activities and to do certain things and have spaces and everything, then you're just getting closer and sharing stories, and that's really what, we're all complete opposites, but we fit perfectly.
That is right along the same lines that I talk to my daughters about when it comes to relationships. If you don't put in the time, it's never going to get anywhere. And making those memories and having those conversations during good times and bad times is what keeps those relationships strong. But I will tell you, from a guy that's sitting in the background listening, it's very obvious within minutes that it is not forced. It is authentic. It is real. Which I'll be the first to admit, I believe there are a lot of strong communities in the crypto spaces. Some of them do feel forced to me. I won't name any names because I'm not here to do that. But when you get into a community that you can tell that is authentic, it's refreshing. And I definitely believe you guys have that for sure. So kudos on that. And I think you have I don't want to call it a weird way, that's just kind of how I talk, but you guys have a way of making everyone feel welcome too. I haven't said anything, I didn't step forward, but I could tell there were certain people who probably hadn't been in those spaces or in Discord for very long, but they still felt like they were part of the family, so kudos to you guys for that, because we are huge on that.
Yes.
One of our catchphrases we say off camera all the time is family. And it covers for a lot of idiotic topics that we bring up, probably things that we shouldn't say to one another and stuff like that. But we know that we consider each other like family. And so no matter what is said, we still love one another. We'll still always be there for one another. And when family has that meaning behind it, I think that's huge. So you guys are doing awesome when it comes to that. So couple more questions and we're going to get into the torture chamber part of, well, actually Holly's segment's not torture chamber part of the podcast, but the rest of it today might be. But tell me a little bit. So you said you had already stated that you were in the Safe Moon Army. Is that what got you into crypto? The first is Safe Moon, or was there something else that got you into crypto to begin with?
So I started in Doge, like a lot of people.
Yes.
High five.
made a nice enough profit on that to where I just continued and kind of got into Safe Moon and then just went from there. I mean, the Army too is pretty fierce. They're very protective and very supportive. I know I've been terrible with being in spaces lately. I used to host and co-host spaces too back last year and earlier this year, but I just refocused my attention and time. But even to this day, if something happens or, I had a bad day, the amount of notifications I get from the Army that's like, who do we need to take out? Or, something that's like protective and supportive. It's really what kept me around with crypto.
Yeah, that's why we have Caleb. He's our muscle.
Yeah.
He can take out anybody. I have faith
like the
in him.
person drilling outside.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How quiet it is now.
So with that being said, is there anything else about the Misfits or about yourself or anything like that that you want to talk about that maybe we haven't touched on before we move forward?
I think with the Misfits per se, just when people are hearing about NFTs or hearing about, community, just try it. Just sit in a space and listen or join a Discord, because you may be surprised in what life-changing things happen. And I say that completely from experience, because I refused to buy an NFT and I refused to join Discord, and now I help run a Discord. So it's just, letting that happen, but also making sure you choose the right one too.
Mm-hmm.
I am super excited about where this project is going to go. The manga and the story and being a part of that, the community is just, oh my gosh, they just have my heart. I just absolutely love everyone that's involved, and we have so much fun. It's kind of like a bunch of rowdy boys that I have to try to manage and make sure that they, don't hurt each other at times from wrestling. It's just, but it's so much fun. I wake up and I check all my messages and I get on Discord, and there's these random gifs and emojis that I'm like, what happened throughout the night? But it's so fun. And I have to give, like, when credit is due, the founders, Alex and Tom, are absolutely the real deal. They are very engaged with the community. Some projects you really don't know who's behind it, or kind of, even who they are. But they are just very personable with everyone. They're very engaged with everyone. I know now how stressful things can be on this side, and for them with even more. They never let any overwhelming days or stressful days flow into the community. They're just real the whole time. But they put up with a lot of my crap. I mean, I am a little mouthy, and they are saints for putting up with me. But they're absolutely the sweetest and most supportive guys. I wouldn't do this with anyone different. So
very cool. It sounds like it was a match. And I think Holly may know what you're talking about when it's keeping a bunch of guys in line that just want to wrestle each other and stuff like that. But no, I've actually had the privilege to be in a couple spaces that they were in, and they were talking, and it just seemed like genuine people, And for me personally, I'm all about genuine people. We talk about it all the time. As long as you're truthful and honest, and you allow me to be truthful and honest in my response, we're going to get along great. And they just seem to be those guys. And I, for one, am hooked on your project. And you will see, I don't actually have my own personal Twitter. The other three do. I just kind of run the Crypto Bros one. So if you see that in there, you're usually talking to me, or I'll probably try to hide in the corner, because I still am not very educated on it. Our stories are a lot like yours when it comes to NFTs. Maybe a little scared, maybe not quite understand it, but I think your guys' project is one that, if people don't know about it and they want to learn about it, it is a great community to get into and figure it out. So
yeah, the nerd in me loves it.
Oh yeah, it's right up Greg's alley. I mean, he's got comic books from I don't even know how far down, and anime and all that stuff. So yeah, but
do you have another question?
What's that?
Do you have another question?
No, I do not have another
I got
question.
a question.
Yeah.
So are there plans on hitting up a Comic-Con in the future with this?
Ooh.
I gotta know.
So Alex is in Australia, Tom's in Singapore, and then I'm here. So it's kind of like,
well, that's super easy.
Everyone gets together. It's like, I don't know. That would take a lot of planning, but I know that they are looking into some things more on their side. I would absolutely go and do something like that and rep the Misfits. So it's definitely not out of the question, I would assume.
Oh,
well, we would absolutely go, and
that'd be cool. And go to Comic-Con. I've actually been to a Comic-Con, and they're fun. They're very, very fun. And then to have that would be so much fun to do, actually.
I don't miss Comic-Con.
And then the NFTs out there, like, to the people, who don't know, because there's not I'm trying to think, and no, I don't think that I heard anything about NFTs when I was there, but that would be actually a very good shoe in to, really getting everybody into NFTs.
Yeah, it'd be a great bridge between the two, I think.
Yeah.
And I know that we would all love to go to whatever Comic-Con that is. We would love to go there and check that out. So.
Road trip.
Yeah, I've gone to the Comic-Con Kansas City for the last 10 years, every year. I don't miss it. That's the one thing I put on the calendar.
He really doesn't miss it.
And I would say, the crypto stuff is starting to be a thing there. I actually paid in Bitcoin this year, and I was the guy's first crypto payment, and he was super stoked about it.
Yeah, I had never really thought about that, but that could be a really good bridge between NFTs, especially in a project like yours where you are putting that manga together. That would fit really well. So if you do that, you have to make us a promise you're going to let us know when and give us a little bit of notice so we can all meet up there for sure, because we would love to show up to that. And you know what? If you really, really wanted to do us a favor, just come to Kansas City's. Because then we can just drive there. We don't even have to fly.
I would do that.
I'm Caleb. Please like and subscribe.